Okay? So, a formal definition is a quadrilateral, because it's got how many sides? 4. Quadrilateral with both pairs of opposite sides parallel. Ooh, I wrote that little symbol up there, which means what? Parallel. So, parallelogram, a definition is a quadrilateral with both pairs of opposite sides parallel. Seriously. Okay, you're also going to see it as a symbol like this. It looks like this. You're going to see this in the book. You're going to have a little mini little parallelogram, and that means parallelogram. So that's what you'll see. All right, so hey, this was from Chapter 5. These 2 questions. So see if you can answer them. Given that angle P is a supplement of angle R, and the measure of angle P is 164, find the measure of R. And then these 2 angles make a linear pair, find X. And I'm not going to tell you about that. I want you to just try it on your own. Yeah, obviously you need to know what a supplement is, and you need to know what a linear pair is.
Wow.
So try it real quick.
Why'd you freeze your screen? Now I can't see.
Exactly. I'll show it to you after you try it on your own.
Wow.
There's a little algebra involved in the number 2. Come on, try it.
I'm done.
All right.
I'll give it a shot. Where's my joke? Can you try something?
I'm doing something. Why don't you try something? No, you did.
I have them in my head so you don't bother me.
Oh, you don't. I never do.
Dang, stop talking.
Anybody listen? Did you watch the weather?
Yeah, I was.
Somebody said earlier that we might get some crappy weather tonight again.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Wait, is it supposed to freeze or what? If I was Sunday, I swear I'll be so happy.
Wow. Wouldn't that be nice?
It'd be way more than nice. That'd be fantastic. I need a snow day. Actually, I need a big snowstorm before baseball. I want to go.
Indoor, obviously.
Ah,
Okay. What did somebody get for number 1? Anybody want to volunteer? What'd you get, Jana?
16.
Right.
nice.
How about number 2?
7.
Allison? Right on. Wow, there's the power pair right there. Here you go. Okay. Supplement adds to 180. You have to remember that. They add up to 180. Okay? So you did 180 minus 164 equals 16 degrees. Linear pair, same dang thing, just written differently. A linear pair is 2 angles that make up a straight line. So they also add to 180. So that's why you write them as a sum. 117 plus x plus 2x equals 180. And then you solve for x. You have to remember what those words mean. Okay? All right, so let's add a few pictures to these theorems. These theorems are listed on that sheet that I gave you yesterday. But these are the ones that you're going to kind of use today. So let's add some pictures. Theorem 6.2, if a quadrilateral is a parallelogram, then its opposite sides are congruent. Let's add a picture to show what that means.
Is that right?
Draw a parallelogram. This says that its opposite sides are congruent. Well, how do we show that sides are congruent? We use the little tick marks, right?
Yes.
Okay, those sides are congruent. Are these the same length as these? No, so we got to use a double for that. Opposite sides are congruent. Okay? Now, here 6.3 says if a quadrilateral is a parallelogram, then its opposite angles are congruent. So I'm going to draw a different picture for this because we're talking about the angles. So opposite angles, congruent. These could be different measure than these, so I'm going to use double for that. Okay, you can't put squares because you don't know that they're right angles. All right. 6.4 says if a quadrilateral is a parallelogram, then it's consecutive angles. What does consecutive mean again? Yeah, next to, or I don't know, however you want to say it, next to. So let's draw another picture to represent that. It's a parallelogram. You have this angle and this angle, which are different. They are different. Just look at them. They're different. Don't make them equal. Justin, I don't know what you're doing, but you really don't need that right now. I'm going to say this is angle 1 and this is angle 2. Okay? Not you, Justin. Okay, so I'm going to say, well, this is telling me then that the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 equals how much? What does supplementary mean? 180. So that's what that's saying. It's saying 1 and 2 add together to equal 180. Hey, what if I put a 3 here? What could we say about 1 and 3? No, but they add to what? Oh. What if I had a 4 here? What could I say about 3 and 4? They add to what? If I had a 4 down here, what could I say about 4 and 2? They add to 180. Okay? If a quadrilateral is a parallelogram, then its diagonals bisect each other. Oh, look, we're going to draw another parallelogram to represent theorem 6.5. Diagonals means going from here to here is a diagonal. And going from here to here, this diagonal is going to cut that one exactly in half. How do I represent that? If it bisects it, it cuts it exactly in half. So those two parts are congruent.
Whoa, slow down.
This diagonal cuts this one exactly in half, but there are different lengths, so I'm going to show them like that. Okay? So the diagonals bisect each other. All right, let's apply some of these on the back side.
I guess.
So they're telling me that KLMN is a parallelogram. Therefore, I know that all these things are true. If they're telling me it's a parallelogram, all these things are true. So I'm going to see what I can do here. I know this is 12, so that's 12. If it's a parallelogram. I know this is 8, that means that 8. That's 8. Now I can answer my questions. It's asking me what MN is, right here. MN is equal to 8. It's asking me what KN is. KN is equal to 12. And I know this because opposite sides are congruent. You have to give a reason when you're doing the work, okay? So you can just write it like that. All right, here again, they're telling me this is a parallelogram. What do I know about the angles of a parallelogram? 2 things I know. The next to each other adds to 180, and opposite what? Are congruent. So if this is 75, this is 75.
105.
Okay. Yep. These two add to 180, so this is 105. Opposite of that would be 105. Check. These two add to 180. These two add to 180. These two add to 180. Yep, we're good. So I'm going to say, okay, I know this because consecutive angles add to 180. And opposite angles are congruent. Okay, so again, no, I knew he was leaving. This is a parallelogram, they're telling me again. So I need to find this piece right here. If it's a parallelogram, what do I know about the diagonals? They bisect each other, so cut each other exactly in half. If this is 8, then that's 8. Correct? So I'm going to say JN is equal to 8 because diagonals bisect each other. Bisect means to cut exactly in half. All right, so let's wrap this up. Which parts of a parallelogram are congruent? I shall ask somebody. How about Aiden? Which parts? Give me one part of a parallelogram that is congruent. Opposite sides. Yep. Opposite sides are congruent. What other part of parallelograms are congruent? Lexi. Opposite angles. Yeah, isn't it beautiful?
It's gorgeous.
Okay, that's it. And you guys have, I don't know, what is it? What do we go to?
5 minutes, probably.
Really?